Good evening to everybody watching at home. Your boy is back, the SuperSquid. It's been a long time. It's been a long day without you, my friends, to quote Charlie Puth. But we're back with another episode of the Amigos racing team Roulette race. The revolutionary racing format where the tracks are chosen at random. It's a one-make series and everyone is out there for 10-minute sprints as hard as they can. We find ourselves at a GT Sport favourite here, the Blue Moon Bay infield. Our car of choice tonight from Cafe Menu 10 is the Nissan Silvia S13 from 1988. As we say, we've got 5 short sprint races today, various drivers in various liveries, but it's going to be a heck of an evening. If you want to get involved, make sure you sign up to our Discord. The link should be in the description below. And while you're here, if you want to drop a comment or a like and get ourselves out in the YouTube algorithm, that would be much appreciated. So, in terms of our drivers for tonight, we've got a couple of returning favourites and a couple of new drivers to Amigos Racing Team. One of them being Cartel Racing here. This is a fluorescent pink and purple Nissan Silvia. Another one being Big Madders, joining us for the first time in the Roulette Racing Series. Someone further down the grid here, but he's definitely not an old, definitely not a newcomer to Amigos, will be Lankster here in his blacked out Silvia, along with some regular Roulette favourites being Beardy McBeard. Ryan is bad, you know, who's pulled another pole up out of the bag there. Our resident extraterrestrial Play Dutchy, who's taken that pole straight back from Ryan is bad. We've got Mr. Navoli, and we've got Dinglehopper. Cantona makes his comeback, he crosses the line, his qualifying time gets him in P7. Uncle Darren gets to finish his qualifying lap there as well, we're in P9, we'll see where he places in a moment. And also with Urban Fire, one of our other Amigos Racing Team mods. We also, I believe, have Brady Carter in the garage at the moment, fixing the tuning up, so he should be on track, hopefully fairly soon. We're going to start the first race though. Let's get the racing underway. We say 10 minutes here, except we can't because people are initialising. No, they're not. Right, we're good. We're going. 10 seconds. Off we go. Let's get spectating. We've got Play Dutchy on pole there. What a fantastic camera angle we got here for the start of the race. Play Dutchy on pole, Lankster second. We got Ryan is bad, and that must be as well Beardy taking up the first 2 rows of the grid. We should get our info on. We've got the cars revving their engines, no anti-lag for today, I'm afraid. Our 3 red lights and off we go. A great start there by Play Dutchy. Uncle Darren has a fantastic start there from I think the 4th row of the grid. Finds himself up in P6. Now as they carry on into turn 1, we can see Play Dutchy keeps the lead, Lankster in second. Ryan Badgino up the inside there of Lankster. He has made the move, it looks like. Lankster's got the more momentum as he heads around the outside. We'll jump on board with Play Dutchy, see how things are going behind him. So it's staying fairly tight. They're down already up into P3, it's fantastic, but it's been carnage as we head further back down the track. Turn 2 has not gone so well. Cartel Racing up into P4. Dinglehopper maybe think he might pause next, they're going a little bit slow out of that corner. It's really not worked out well for these guys, and a massive cluster of drivers from P5 down to what I presume is maybe P9. There it is indeed, right, with Cantona going around the outside. Oh, it's missing Navoli, sorry. Around the outside of Ryan's Badgino, and maybe even through Urban Fire. He concedes down to P8. So 2 places down there from Urban Fire. He's going to make a move back up the inside. Oh, not too sure there. You definitely won't miss that bright yellow Silvia though. That's going to be lurking in the review mirror of Ryan's bad as he goes flying at the wall there. Jesus, it's my airbag. It looks like you might be making a couple more prayers tonight to keep that car under control. Beardy McBeard and Big Madder say thank you very much, putting Ryan is Badgino down into P11. Play Dutchy as usual then, storming off into the lead. Lankster there in P2, and see if I can also share our video into our Discord channel in the meantime. Uncle Darren, again, a sensational start from here. I wish we could still get the replay features on these. Finds himself up in a 3rd position, which is a tremendous start from him. Further down the pack, Dinglehopper's in a world of his own there in P4. Navoli and Cartel fight P5 and 6. Urban Fire's gone wide again at T2. And shut the door though, right in Cantona's face. So he finds himself down in P2 and so P7 and P8. I'll make sure we can all share that stream. Good. Then Beady McBeard down in P9. Big Matters intent. Ryan's Badger going to go around the outside. Is he going to make this work? Let's have a look. Late on the brakes there for Ryan's Badger, but only too late. Big Matters waving the big red cape like a matador sends the ball back into that China shot. Finds himself back down in last place. Ryan seems to be bad, you know, tonight. Let's hope that he can pull some more places out of the bag as we go around for another few minutes. Dudley, though, a comfortable lead there from Lancaster, just about 3/4 of a second, but that is rough in the slipstream distance. We can see that Delta slowly coming back down as he gets in the tow. Uncle B Darren in P3, Big Hopper 4th, Cartel in 5th, so a decent gap between those three drivers. Navoli in 6th, maybe under threat from Urban 5 ahead down the main straight. In fact, Beady McBeard and Cartona looks like trying to avoid each other's slipstream. Who's going to hold the position into the corner? It's going to be Beady, I believe. But Cartona is hot on his heels and a fantastic livery, it must be said. Is that the Thundercats logo on the side? I can't quite tell. So there, Cartona in 9th. Rice Badger has made the move on Madders now into P10, and no one's crashed at turn 2, which is finally happening. Good stuff. More overtaking though, heading up here as we watch from Cartona. We'll see maybe on his inboard view. Is there a move made on Urban 5? He's been late on the brakes under the bridge. He's slightly late. Urban 5 leaves the door but closes it back on him as it looks like Navoli's gone wide there. Finds himself down into P9. Cartona still chasing down Urban 5. Can he get a move made? As Beard runs very wide through that first corner, and now we've got a seat back in the way. Urban Fire though still in P7. Let's jump forward again to Beardy as he might have a run on Cartel as he heads onto the main straight. So we're going to stay now with Beardy McBeard as he tries to battle with Cartel. As we can see, there's a bit of battle for the leading steering actually between Lancaster and Play Dutchy. We'll cut that very shortly, but for the time being, is Beardy going to get the run on Cartel? No, he's going to drop off again, go in the slipstream again, and see if he can make that move into turn 1. He's alongside now, he's technically got that position, he's got the apex, he's ahead. Is Cartel going to cut back on the inside? Oh, he's thinking about it, it's going to a little bit slidey on the brakes, but no, Beardy has that place. Let's jump forward then to Lancaster and Dutchy as we see the battle ensuing between these two. Probably the two most experienced and hardest to beat drivers in the Amigos racing team. And if you want to see some quality racing, you'll definitely find it at this end of the field. Not to say you won't find it elsewhere though, unfortunately I say that. Someone's lost it again at turn 2. Hopefully that's not Ryan again. And no, it's fortunate it's Navoli with a cutback then to these two at the front. Dutchy's still hot on the heels of Lancaster, probably waiting for that slipstream and get that toe all the way down the back straight. So we'll see how these two do as they head on to the start of lap 5. Only 3/10 difference and closing as they level out off of the banking. So Lancaster with just that 2.5 lead there over Dutchy. He's got the fastest lap, so he would have helped the slipstream from the previous. But now he's got to defend from Dutchy. There's an aggressive move down the inside there. See the cars leaning as they throw it through that left-hander. And Dutchy takes the lead back from Lancaster, but he's got more momentum around the outside. He's not going to give that one up without a fight. And they're side by side into turn 2. But it looks like Dutchy has kept the lead there from Lancaster. They're almost bumper to bumper. Let's have a look there on the cockpit view there. A little bit of a nudge there. Lancaster thinks he's going to let that one go. Oh, Dutchy's gone! Spinning around there into P2. Poor guy. And now he plays out in P3. Darren's playing out into P2. A stodgy race from him. But most unlike Dutchy, and maybe there was some contact there from Lancaster that's caused that. And in fact, I think we can see that Lancaster looks like he's maybe slowing down a bit there. There we are, half throttle first gear. I think he knows that he might be slightly culpable for that. Nonetheless, though, Uncle Dan was saying thank you very much, and he's going to fly away at the lead there for P1. So it should probably be now Dutchy P2, Lancaster P3, and there's the overtake we see. Maybe not without a fight there from those two. Maybe they agree in the chat. Let's just keep it on the track. Dinglehopper down in P4, Beardy in 5th, Cartel in 6th, has flown face first into the wall, unfortunately, just as Ryan did earlier in this race, putting Urban Fire into P6. And now Big Man is running outside into P7. What about Cartona and Ryan is bad? Are there any more places to be made? Let's have a look. Oh my goodness, Madders running outside between a rock and a hard place, but a fantastic move there. And Cartel, having lost all that momentum, finds himself down in P9. I'm not sure if Cartona's going to have the slipstream on him yet to get into P9. You know, he's definitely not from that far back. But it looks like this is going to be an interesting battle as they fight for what is still P7. So even the Roulette series, I'm glad to see, encouraging fighting at all ends of the pack, whether at the back or the front. And it looks like Dutchy now has finally got the better of Langster, heading off that right-hand kink there. Must be turn 4, I think. Madders gone a little bit wide there. Dutchy back to the, sorry, right back to the throttle. Bit of a bump there from Madders. That's going to invite Cartel back into the fight, I think. That loss of time cuts the corner very nicely there. Madders is off on the grass. Riley Badgino goes around the outside, as does Cartel. And will Cantona get around him as well? I have to see. There's a late move on the brakes. Cantona has gone for it down the inside. But fortunately, Madders has seen him, left the space open, and Cantona back up into P9. Good to see Cantona making some overtakes. Unfortunately, Noyes finds himself near the back of the pack, but it's good to see him in the fighting and not giving the places away. Having said though, Big Madders had a great run out that last corner, right on the tail of Cantona. I think as soon as he's gained P9, he's going to be giving it straight back if he's got the slipstream. Oh, a bit of a slide out of there. He's lost his momentum, and now Calm will start to pull away. Meanwhile, the Uncle Darren, miles ahead of the lead there, 7.1 seconds and gaining. So it's like Dutch and Langster maybe been fighting a little bit too much. Really jeopardised their chances of the race win. We've only got about 2 minutes left here at Blue Moon Bay. So it's still Darren leading from Dutchy and Langster for our top 3. Dinglehopper has a fantastic race. It's been a quiet one, but up into P4, something he'll be very glad to see there. Hopefully more results like that will roll up for him indeed, as his number plate suggests. Beardy McBeard down in P5, started on the second row, but only lost one or two places, so he shouldn't be too upset with that one. Urban Fire, new to the Roulette series, but in P6, a great race from him as well. Rise Badgino, a disastrous start for him, but to be back up in P7, it's all right, but I know he'd have wanted better for his for racing one of a more driftier car as he takes to them. Cartel, his first race tonight down in P8, he's got some gains to make. Can he catch Cuzzy within the next minute? We'll have to see. And Cartel and Big Madders are still duking it out for P9. Let's jump on board then with Big Madders and see if there's anything to be made as he heads through the last corner and onto the banking. Again, slightly out of shape. That's going to cost him. And Cantona is definitely at the slipstream now, so he's only going to have one more lap to secure that 9th place. We check with Mr. Navoli quickly. I think he's still down in P11, making his way around the final corner now. He should have time for one more lap. But we'll have to see what the lead's going to be up to. Uncle Darren's still flowing away there, up in P1. So I think the battle's going to be over here with Madders and Cantona. He's definitely made a catch up on him there from that home straight. But again, an error on the exit of the corner is going to throw all of that time away. Unfortunate for Madders. Jump forward a little bit further. Let's have a look. We've got a 3-way battle here now with Dinglehopper, Beardy and Langster, who must have made a mistake somewhere in that infield. And it looks like Beardy McBeard might just be on for a podium here. We have to see as the timer's just about to run out. It looks like maybe Darren might get one more lap, but he might be the only person to take that lead lap. Dutchy's going to cross the finish line in about 3 seconds' time. He's going to find the checkered flag. He will indeed, on the fastest lap. But Dinglehopper will take P3 at his home track. Beardy in P4. Langster will be disappointed with P5, but we'll see many better results from him tonight, I'm sure. Urban Fire holds P6 off from Ryan's badge. You know, a really quick comeback from Ryan to catch up to Urban, but 1.1 seconds is not enough to threaten P6. Cartel in P8 crosses the line. Good finish for him in his first race. Cantona off the bottom. We love to see it. In P9. Madders in P10, not far behind. And Mr. Navoli brings up the rear. So now's our favourite part of the evening. We've got to reset the lobby and do everything again. But to avoid that going as stale as it could be, we're going to jump into the party chat, see if we can have a quick conversation with some of our competitors. Good evening, everybody. You're live on Amigos TV. Please keep it clean as you do on the track. Firstly, Ryan, are you there, Ryan? What happened? Started on, the second row of the grid and then found yourself at the back. I was going to say, if Jesus is your airbag, you might need to go to church a few more times a week, I think, my friend. Well, they do say the Lord works in mysterious ways, but hopefully maybe give you a bit of a slipstream boost in the next one. We'll have to see. Speaking of spins, what about Lancaster? Your first evening of roulette hasn't gone so well, has it? Of course, well, it's good that you're learning from the best. I respect that very much. Could have learnt from Dutchy, though, having taken P2. I think he was in the lead at one point. What happened between you two? Dutchy, your view on that?
Well, I had no clue what happened. I thought maybe I lost it myself, or I don't know. I don't mind. It's racing.
All right then. Well, we'll take that good feeling hopefully into race 2. The lobby's now open, so I'll talk to you guys after the second one. Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.
So race 2. The randomizer finds us at Deep Forest Raceway Reverse. Something I don't think we've seen very often in our own league races here at Amigos Racing Team. I don't think it's come up yet on the sport mode as well, so this could provide some interesting braking zones and overtaking opportunities for our drivers this evening. I'm going to get a quick sip of water. I'll be right back with the commentary. So those of you watching at home, thanks for the wait. We are at Deep Forest Raceway Reverse for the second of our 5 races tonight in the ART Roulette series. We're going to make sure that everyone can join the track at the same time, because I know, as I'm sure we're all aware, Gran Turismo 7 isn't a finished game yet, which is quite irritating to see. But hopefully we should be able to all be on track in a few seconds, and we'll get straight into the second race. Deep Forest, of course, a returning favourite from Gran Turismos of old. So if you were playing on the PS2 and the PS3, you probably have quite fond memories of it. What do you think of the adjustments they've made to these tracks? For example, they've taken away the massive jumping chicane at Trial Mountain. Deep Forest's been reprofiled in areas as well. What are your takes on it? I mean, I think they're quite good. That makes them more realistic, but some people obviously have much more nostalgia about it. So let me know what you think in the comments. So we're going to get this race going straight away. No practice, no quali. 10 minutes of what can only assume will be organised chaos when they get to that uphill braking zone at turn 2. But we are about to go racing. Let's see just what we end up with. I've also been told maybe the comments aren't working, so I'll see if I can quickly fix that as we get going. So, we are underway at Deep Forest Reverse. Dutchy spun off the line, very unfortunate for him. Lancaster flies off still in the lead on his own. There's a 4 wide almost there for P2, still 3 wide now as they head downhill there. Big Matters comes out on top of it in P3. Ryan Spagino trying to keep P2. There's Dinglehopper got the inside there, but all about now is going to be the tricky braking zone. We've had 2 drivers go wide there already. I think that's Cartel and Navoli. Cartel just trying to keep it on track and does avoid Navoli. A very good rejoin there for Cartel. He has maybe put Urban Fire slightly out of the game there, watched him out wide, and now it's going to be a drag race down to, all the way down to the bridge. Let's see if he gets much of the slipstream from here. You can see bumper to bumper there with Urban Fire as they head back out into the daylight. Pulls to the right hand side. Oh, and there's contact there. They've both taken each other out. Maybe some netcode issues there, because there's no reason to be so aggressive in the tunnel. Goodness me. In that case, Dutchy just about avoids the pair of them. Good skill from Dutchy. But those two have got a race for themselves now, unfortunately. Lankster, though, finds himself in P1. Ryan's Badgino still in P2. Bradley Carter getting on the track straight away in P3. And of all people, Navoli, after that horror show we had last race, finds up in P4, wait, that P5 as Beatty McBeard smoothly navigates around him. But excellent start from Navoli. He's got Big Madders though hot on his heels, so how long is he going to keep that P5 for? Only time will tell. How much time will it be? Navoli really aggressive into the final turn, trying to keep that slipstream from Beatty McBeard, which I think he does now. He's got a really long run and a very good exit. Let's watch from the onboard. He goes straight around Beatty McBeard to the right hand side, but it's like he's just going to hold on round the outside. Is there room for these drivers to go 2 by 2 through the final corner? No, Navoli was going to let that one go. But is Big Madders close enough? No, he must have made a mistake. He is very far behind. He's losing time. Beatty though has gone very wide there. Navoli once bitten, twice shy, waiting for Beatty to rejoin. Is the cut back on? It definitely is. And some great driving from Navoli. Re-secures P4. Well done. So, up in front though, Lankster still on his own, but looks like Bradley Carter's now going to have a go at Ryan. His badge, you know, he's trying to break the slipstream, looking around the outside. Ryan shuts that door back on him. They're going to go almost bumper to bumper into the corner. Maybe a slight lock up there could be for Bradley Carter, or a bit of contact. Looks like now he's going to slow down. Looks like he had put Ryan into the wall. But they get a move on because Navoli's hunting for a podium position here. So looks like they're going to let each other go, but now Bradley Carter straight back on the attack there. No mercy, no respite. And you've got Navoli and Beardy, and I think that's Madders as well, just lurking in the background. So this battle for P2 could easily become a 5-way fight there. I think we're going to ride on board there with Big Madders and see what he sees. He goes to the inside of Navoli there, very opportunistic. Looks like Ryan's trying to go on the outside of Bradley, but to no avail there. Bradley retakes P2. Keeps it in front. We can see the mirrors there full of black and red Silvia as Beardy is hunting down Big Madders. We're going to jump forward a second there to Ryan, see if he's got any luck against Bradley Carter. It doesn't look like he will yet. Looks like it's going to be a very hectic race, it seems. So one more time, we've got Lankster in P1, Bradley Carter and Ryan's Badgino chasing down P2 and 3. Big Madders up into P4, great start for him. Beardy's missed the braking zone again, down into P5. Be very careful to get undercut again, but fortunately he's got about 4 seconds to play Dutchy, who's also managed to earn a half-second penalty. That's the last thing he wanted to do. We've got Navoli down in P7, unfortunately. His race now seems to be on the decline. He's now at risk from Cartel, and Uncle Dario in a stonker, a first race, and ran away, finds himself down in P9 of all places. Same for Dinglehopper, a great finish last time out, but now in P10. We've got Carltona in 11th, and Urban Fire's had a shocking race so far in P12, so hopefully he's got some gains to make there. Let's jump back to some of our battles here. It looks like the battle for P3 has started to spread out. There's a yellow flag up ahead though. I can't quite tell who it is, unless it's been resolved. No, Langston and Brad and Ryan still going smoothly, so it looks like Big Madders. Here's Beardy McBeard now, and another 3-way battle for P4 as Beardy spins. What's their contact? Unfortunately, I didn't catch that in time. But Beardy now finds himself in P6. Navoli coming around the corner as well with the trailer cars following him. There goes Navoli. What about Cartel? He's taken to the dirt. I don't think it's going to earn him a place, maybe a penalty though. Let's have a look as they're battling really hard there. Cartel does emerge victorious, but is there a penalty lined up for him? No, perhaps not. And now you can see, if you look over in Beardy's mirrors, full of bright salmon pink Darren, as he's got to cut off that they've got to cut that move off. There's some door banging there, not sure that's what we're meant to be seeing. As we've got Darren there has dropped back a little way. Dinglehop has as well. What happened to the Cartel? He must have had a spin on the grass maybe on the exit. Down in P11. Urban Fire's now got another target to hunt down. For the time being though, we've got Langster roaring away with this race. Oh, okay, so if you're watching, I realised it's for some reason set to made for kids, so it should be fixed now if you're watching at home. So hopefully let's get back to that one then, see if we can get back to our race there. So Langster in P1, Brad in P2, 4.5 seconds away from Ryan Badgino. Dutchy has taken P4, he's on the march, having gotten past Big Madders finally. Navoli in P6, so still holding the fort there, good for Navoli. Beardy in P7, again with mirrors full of Uncle Darren. This might be the battle to watch. We're going to stay on board with these guys for a little bit longer. And it looks like Dinglehopper is now starting to get involved in the fight as well, just behind there. So the three cars only separated by about a second. We'll jump on board, I think, from Dinglehopper's point of view, with that bright pink roll cage. Oh, he might have needed that roll cage if he'd gone a bit further there. Just that keeps it on the track, but he's got a bird's eye view now of this front pack, which is fantastic to see. Nice tight apex there. Beardy running a little bit wider down, a little bit tighter to that inside line, and now jump on board with Darren. How much of a slipstream has he got as he heads down towards turn 1? But Navoli might have had a bit of a spin there because he's definitely slower there. We got away from Hockers, the comments are working, finally. I'm sure everyone else knows in Discord, we've got the comments on. As Uncle Darren keeps it very smooth there into turn 2 and 3. Right on the tail of Beardy McBeard. Let's see if we can get some more cinematic action of this then. If you can see Navoli just heading through the tunnel now. Now, you've only got about 2.5 minutes left, but Navoli really needs to make sure he can pull away from these two. Maybe the battling will help him. But if there's any kind of issue, it's not going to end well for him. Down still in the slipstream of Beardy, no dice down the tunnel. Beardy just about got the drag on him, it seems. So Adam's going to make his move, maybe through this tricky handling final sector, or perhaps wait for the main straight itself. Or unless Beardy makes a mistake, which I think he has, and Darren straight around the outside, very opportune there. Beardy got a bit loose on the gravel there, on the dust. Beardy had a better run there, heading into this second little tunnel, but he's not going to get the move done yet, and now he's at risk from the Dinglehopper. He's trapped in a kind of bright pink and green sandwich. It's almost like what you see in a sweet wrapper, these guys, how bright their cars are. But it's not going to happen until they go into that main straight at the earliest. Looks like as well there, I think there's going to be a three-way fight now going on for that podium. That Dutchy's really caught up to Brad and Ryan, so we're going to jump forward to those three now. He has indeed caught right onto those two, so we're right on board there with Dutchy. She's down at the 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Nice tight apex, early on the power, a little bit of counter steer. Oh, but caught it a bit too late, and all that hard work has been undone, unfortunately for Dutchy. Curse of the commentator, it seems. So a jump forward instead then to Ryan is bad. Has he got a run on Bradley Carter up at the 5th gear? Probably going to be doing about 160 miles an hour as he hits the brakes. Almost 155 early on the brakes there, down into 3rd, maybe grab 2nd for the tight apex. Brad could have done that as well, but he's run a little bit wide. It seems though he's going to make most of that momentum as they head through into this uphill, undulating section there, clipping the bollards, almost like the clipping points on a drift car. I think Dutchy might be in that Keiichi Tsuchiya livery, which is fantastic, that neon green one. But not quite as bright as Ryan's one, as we can see. Blinding as he comes out the tunnel. You see, he's running very wide there though. Dutchy's going to jump straight back onto this pack. He's really pushed hard to get back in contact with these guys. It looks like someone might have had a little spin there, I think, in the middle sector. We jumped back very quickly. Beardy and Dinglehopper are still fighting. Looks like Darren and Navoli have had a come in together. Hopefully that's going to be resolved in the in that race there. Jump forward again. Dingle right on the back of Beardy McBeard. They are almost inseparable now. The question is, how good is that run going to be? It's basically the last lap now for these two. I think it's going to be Dutchy in P4. Dutchy will take the flag, he's in P4, so it's going to be Big Madders taking the flag first. Is there a move on with Beardy and Dinglehopper to the line? Beardy's just going to take it on the line. Anything down the back here? Navoli and Darren, it's like there's going to be no dice there. Navoli should keep that place from Uncle B. Darren being 8th and 9th respectively. And we've got Cartel in P10, just going to fend off Calm Toner. close as it could be there. Urban Fire will take the flag finally in P12. A little bit of camera time for Urban Fire as he weaves and slides down the straight, and a handbrake turn to boot. And that's a bit concerning. It's like the end race timer doesn't work. I'll have to fix that one for the next one. I can only assume that Lancaster came first with Ryan and Brad on the end. We can double check those results in a moment as we get the new lobby set up. Hockers, thanks for waving. I hope you're watching, hope you're enjoying the show. And let's set up the next one and get our interviews in while we're here. Evening all, you're live with Amigos. Please do not swear. Firstly, I apologise. I didn't realise the race time was going to do that to you guys on the final lap. What happened there between Kazi and Brad? Who came out on top at the end of that one then?
I think Kazi.
Brad got second. All right then. Brad, how are you feeling about that race then? Now that you got back on track, you seem to get to grips with the car very quickly. Oh, his headset's not on. Oh, well, thanks, Brad, for a good talk as always. Kazi, maybe you could speak for Brad. Were we having a good battle there? Or do you think it was getting fairly one-sided towards the end? And I was going to say, do you think any of that might have been a Dutchy pressure? We've also come to it at some point, I think. Oh, do you have a take on that, our resident Netherlander?
I was enjoying it. Being make it, a bit challenging for me.
Well, of course, we know you appreciate challenges. I was going to say, I think someone challenging the car there might have been Beardy. A couple of spins there, Beardy. What's happening? Too much throttle. Oh yes, I did catch that, and honestly, Dutchy, I was absolutely gutted. My heart really went for you there. I'll send you flowers. I'm so sorry for your loss there. Race 3, sorry. Lobby's open. Get yourselves in. Don't join the track just yet, because we'll make sure we all don't glitch. And have a good luck. We're at Brands Hatch.
Oh God.
We'll see you in a bit. So, as we say, Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Another returning favourite from Gran Turismo Sport. One of those popular circuits in the UK. Fortunately, the weather's held out for us today. Probably quite unfair to make these guys drive in the rain with the cars we've got today. It probably wouldn't be particularly fun. It would be very realistic though, but we want to keep it entertaining, keep it amicable. This isn't a competitive series, it's just something to whet our appetite before we join the big leagues. And speaking of the big leagues, if you're not already in our Discord, please get involved. Our new ART Championship, I think it's maybe Championship number 4, I believe, starts next Monday. There'll be a variety of cars and races on. That will last for about 6 or 7 weeks. There'll be a new series starting up soon with Suzuki Swifts. There'll be a Touring Car Championship if you want to join us on GT Sport as well, and I'll be commentating on that one in the next few weeks. But for the time being, we've got another 3 races, including this one, left for tonight's Roulette series. If you are joining late, our car choice tonight is the Nissan Silvia S13 from 1988. Of course, probably better known as a drift car from Formula Drift and all kinds of crazy YouTube compilations over the years. But I've tried my best to turn it into a time attack machine, as you'll probably see with the giant splitters and wings that our contenders are wearing or sporting this evening. So it appears we're all on track. So we're going to start our race again. See Nalinsky waving in the chat. Even Nalinsky, hope you're doing okay. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in ART Championships as well. I can't remember if you're in Tier 1 or Tier 2. I don't think I've seen you race particularly much, but I hope I get to race with you very soon. So once again, it seems that our grid is organised in I think it's organised in driver rating, it seems. It always seems to be Langster and Dutchy at the front. So wait for our 3 red lights to go out. And away we go. A good start there, I think, again from Uncle Darren. Big Madders, though, already trying to push through the field, as is Beardy McBeard up into P3. Fight with Madders for 4th. Dutchy and Langster going side by side there. Has anyone hit the gravel? Not quite. It is a miracle. No one in the gravel at turn 1. You don't get that on sport mode, but we do get people spinning in the back. Who has lost their way there? It looks like it was Ryan again. He's really not having a good time of it when he starts these races, is he? Poor Ryan, he's not that bad, you know. Dutchy, though, has taken the lead off of Langster, and he'll lead him into Surtees, heading onto the GP layout of Brands Hatch. We've got Langster in P2. Darren, again, a great start for him, up into 3rd place. Beardy in 4th. Navoli, a fantastic start from him too, in 5th. Madders in 6th. Cartel in 7th. We've got Dinglehopper in 8th. Brad in 9th. Urban 10th. Khan 11th. And Ryan with a lot of ground to make up from P12. Let's jump on board, I think, with Bradley Carter. He's got a face full of Peace logo, it seems, with Dinglehopper. And just in front of him, a very shiny purple Silvia there. As he gets up the inside, Dinglehopper, a great run on the inside, will look left quickly. He's got that made. Has he broken too late, though? No, he's just about kept it. Cartel getting a little bit wobbly there, out of Sheen Curve. And they head through Sterling down to the back straight. And Big Madders has gone up on the left there, unfortunately for him. But Brad is still going to be reading down Cartel for P6 heading through Clark Curve. Again, you be really careful. You get on throttle early enough to get momentum, but not too late that you end up understeering into the gravel or oversteering into the pit wall. Of course, our pit wall specialist, No Hassle, is no longer racing with us. But we miss you, Alex. We want you back in here soon, please. There are pit walls that need to be tasted, and we can't do that without you. Bradley Carter got the inside there of... also, I would say Cartel, with Langster's had a bad time. He's now done in P6. Cartel covering Gressing's inside. Bradley Carter then goes for a spin into the infield. Finds himself down now in P9. Make that P10 as Cantona sweeps around on the track there. So Langster clearly had off somewhere as well, and he's now down in 6th place. Uncle Darren up into P2 again. Not starting from particularly hard up the grid with the driver rating system, but seems to make the gains as soon as he can. Dinglehopper getting all kinds of sideways as well. Goodness me. I think I saw Milinski leave a comment there as well, saying tier 2 because we had to get used to the GT7 physics. That's fair enough. They were quite dodgy, to say the least. As Langster taking a bit of a dodgy line there through Hawthorns, and finds himself running outside of Cartel, but keeps the P5. Impressive driving from him. But of course, yes, he's saying Milinski, the physics were naff, let's be honest, and they still seem to be working on it now. Again, it's not a finished game, but hopefully they'll be sorted in the next few weeks with these weekly or fortnightly updates. Cartel, Dinglehopper and Urban Fire now get into a 3-way scuffle here for P6. Urban Fire the inside of Dinglehopper, who's been boxed in by the pair of them. Urban Fire's up the inside. Cartel's gone wide. He's going to hit the gravel. No, he's going to keep it out the gravel. Dinglehopper on the very edge of that rumble strip and keeps it on the road. Fantastic car control from him, but it will come at the cost of P7, it seems, as they head round to Paddock Hill Bend. Urban Fire dive on the inside of Cartel. That's put him on the grass and into a spin. Does Urban Fire know? Is that some net code? It looks like Beardy's also gone off as well there, so maybe have a quick chat with Urban Fire and who was that? I think it was Cartel. Maybe see what's happened there. Of course, hopefully just an accident. I haven't seen anything aggressive previously between those two, but that's the last thing you want to see when you're racing at Paddock Hill Bend, that gravel trap. It takes you and it keeps you. It's like quicksand. Someone who is not stuck in the mud though is this man here, Play Dutchy, our resident alien. 3.3 seconds away from Uncle B Darren, and I'm sure we'll only see that extend as he makes some more distance around the track. Darren in P2 there. Navoli, cracking race for him so far, up into 3rd place. It'll be amazing to see him on the podium as he heads through through Westfield and Dingledale. Langster back up into 4th place there, so he's now got a lot of ground to catch up. He wants that podium spot. I don't think Navoli will make it too difficult for him, but I really want Navoli to be up in that top 5. Dinglehopper's now made some space away from Urban 5, so that Bradley Carter behind him has got a penalty, a 1-second penalty, which will be for track limits. Where is that going to put him if he rides on board very quickly? How much time is that going to cost? You can see Ryan Badger roaring up onto the back. Is there a move to be made? Oh, he looked at the dive bomb, thought of it, but it has scared Brad into going wide. But those two have raced for a very long time together. They know what they're like. They know there's going to be no silly moves made against each other there, and they're going to leave that fight for another day, it seems. That is Brad in 7th. Ryan is bad in 8th. Beardy, after another mishap, it seems, is down in 9th. He's got Big Madders, or is it Big Mad Daz? I have to double check that one. Chasing him down in P10. Khan in 11th, again just on the very kind of coattails of this battle here. Again, we'd love to see him up in the top 10. And Cartel, with an unfortunate start there, finds himself in P12, having tasted the gravel at Paddock Hill. Let's see where the fighting is going on there. The front five are fairly spread out, it seems, so we have to wait our way into the midfield to get into the battle. Beardy is trying to get onto the back of this fight for P5, I believe, or P6. Looks like there's not quite much in it yet, so we'll jump forward just a bit further to Ryan's Bad, who's got a great view of this fight with Brad and Urbanfire. Urbanfire's gone a little bit wide there, slow on the exit. Bradley Carter can see that space on the inside, and he takes it as they head through Westfield. Not a great long though, it's compromise from Bradley Carter. Urbanfire a little bit slow. Ryan's Badger going around the outside of Dingle Dell, not through Sheen. That is very brave. He keeps it round there. He's stuck it in, but he's just not had the grip around the corner. I think a smart decision from Ryan there. Maybe he can make a move as he heads through Sterling and onto Clearway. Let's see as they head through the penalty gate. He's closing his only attempt behind. The move could be made now, but no, he's going to wait. Maybe he's forced Urbanfire into a mistake. He has gone a little bit wide, but Urbanfire kicks it in the middle of the road. There's Beardy now in the background, so this fighting really is helping him. But he's had to jump out of the way of a possible spin there. And now Big Mad Daz, a huge run on the inside of him there. But he's carried a lot of momentum. He's going to get it stopped, I'm not too sure. Beardy's going to leave him the space, but keeps P9. And Urbanfire out the inside of Ryan is bad. There's so much battling going on, I cannot even get it out. What fantastic driving we're seeing so far here. If we scroll a little bit further forward, I think it must be Lancaster right on the tail of Navoli. I'm sure we're going to see an overtake as they head through Pilgrim's Drop. Let's have a look. So out of Surtees to the little right-hand kink. He's only 3/10 back. It's not the easiest dive bomb to make, and I really wouldn't do it unless Navoli's early on the brakes, which he is not. He's got it right on time, but he has missed the apex. Would he be on the grass? No, that's given Lancaster another 10th or 2 advantage, but Navoli's also gets a little bit of space on the inside there of Hawthorns. Now Lancaster's right up with him there. Is he going to make moves on the inside? Has Navoli seen him? I think he has. He's broken early, pulled out of the way. Lancaster almost on the grass. Navoli's going to go for it around the outside. Go on, Navoli. Oh no, he's had to let him go. Oh, I was really hoping to see a bold move there. Come on, Navoli. Be brave. Come on. So as they head on to lap 6, Dutchy's in the lead by 5.5 seconds from Uncle Darren, but maybe not for long as he finds himself in the gravel. Each time I cut to him, something's gone wrong. Darren is just about heading up towards Druids there, so not so much fighting to go on now. Can he recoup 2 seconds in the next 2 laps, though? That is the question. Lancaster holding third away from Navoli now. Dinglehopper's trying to get up into P4. Come on, Navoli, you've got 2 laps maybe. Won't you? 2 more minutes. Keep P4. Bring it home. Dinglehopper in P5. Brad's got another half-second penalty. That might well drop him behind Ryan is bad if he cannot get a good lap in, but he has got 300ths up on the fastest lap so far. Can he get that distance up to Ryan before he hits the penalty zone? Ryan's bad, in P7. Beardy and Big Mad Daz duking it out for 8th and 9th respectively. We'll jump on board with Daz as he clips the apex at Surtees. Back up onto the Pilgrim's Drop. Let's see. It looks like Beardy's had a slightly better exit there. Mad Daz using all of that 9,000 RPM we've got in the Silvia tonight. But Beardy's just going to pull away because, of course, they're not the most powerful cars, these. We've only got about 300 brake horsepower, but all that momentum counts. Fortunately, though, it only weighs about a tonne, so he can really throw it through the corners. Let's watch as Mad Daz really sends it through Hawthorns there, using all that exit curb. But he's losing time to Beardy. This is not what he needs to be doing. He's got to have a fantastic run through the final sector. He's really using all the track there, very brave. We jump back a little way, I think we can see Khan is only just ahead of Urbanfire. They're both going across, and Urbanfire, unfortunately, caught it on camera. He's just spun. Poor guy, so close. You can tell how hard he's pushing to catch up to Khan, but it's just not paid off, unfortunately, for him. and he might well be the last driver to cross the line, unfortunately. And that might be his race done. However, it looks like Cartel's also had an incident over at Surtees. Can he get out of the way of the race leaders? I think he's just going to pull off the track. Very close. Where is Dutchy? Oh, he's almost hit him. So close. Has Darren seen him? Oh, fortunately, Cartel was out of the way. Very close there. Goodness me. So it looks like Urbanfire is still going on for one more lap then. Darren's 2.5 seconds off of Dutchy. Langster is still nowhere in sight and almost 10 seconds down on that front two. Navoli in P4. He's got Digglehopper by 1.5 seconds, but there's not going to be much left in it as they head over the line. Bradley Carter is in 6th, leading from Ryan Dad. We've got Beardy in 7th. Mad Daz is still hot on his heels in P9. And Cartona still in P10. Not the greatest run out of Surtees. He's not going to be in that battle anytime soon, I don't think. The fight we need to be looking at is going to be, I think, where are we? It's going to be this one, I believe, with Brad and Ryan. If Ryan has a bad run through through Sheen Curve, it knows all right through there. What about Beardy and Mad Daz? He's really using all that rumble strip there. Dutchy and Darren take P1 and P2. Langster's going to take 3rd. But what's going to happen as we head into our final corners here? It looks like there's nothing going between Mad Daz and Beardy unless there's a last-minute mistake. I think everyone seems to have kept it clean. He's to be very close as they cross the line. Or will it, as Mad Daz is on the grass? He's pushed too hard right at the end. Finds himself in the gravel, but I think he's just about kept it clean to keep P9. Cartona heading around the last corner there for P10 and Urbanfire. So unfortunate for him. Could it be karma after what happened to Cartel? I mean, maybe those two are the only ones who can explain for us, but he'll cross the line to round out the order tonight. P11. So he puts it in the pit wall one more time. So I believe that is everyone. Nalinsky, lots of action, loving this. Good job calling it too. Awesome commentary. Oh, well, thanks very much. It's nice to be back on the microphone. Nice to be commentating on something I love. You know, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, I suppose. It's worth a Friday night for me. Let's get back into the party chat and find out exactly what happened there, because there was a lot of excursions into the gravel, methinks. Good evening, one and all. Once again, ART TV, please do not swear. Apparently the video was made for kids, that's why we couldn't comment, but it's fixed now. Have we got Urban and have we got Cartel?
Yep.
What quite happened here at Paddock Hill in the gravel track? Because it looked to me that Urbanfire gave you a slight nudge.
Yeah, I did. I got punted, man. It's alright, it was accidental, right? It's just, I don't know, I think it was accidental.
Urbanfire?
Hello, mate, it's alright.
Oh, I think that just about settles it. Urbanfire, he's an admin, he's a mod, he wouldn't punt you on purpose, I don't think.
No, sorry, mate. I was on the inside. So my headphones died. I was on the inside. Sorry, Cartel. Like you were coming down Paddock Hill. It was just one of them things. I do apologise.
I know, it's alright though, because you know what, I made it, in my opinion, yeah, because I was out of the race after that, but in my opinion, I spun it around for about a minute because I knew I wasn't going to make it to the finish line anyway. And then P1 and 2 come flying past me, and I thought if I could just keep up with these boys to the finish, I've redeemed myself, because obviously I knew it weren't my pace that was the problem, do you know what I mean?
And perhaps maybe just pushing too hard has ultimately cost you more than it was worth,
listen,
I think.
I'm a newbie to this, you know, so there's a lot of pressure on my part, you know what I mean?
Well, that's okay. It's part of the learning curve, but you've still got 2 more races to prove yourself, so hopefully you're going to have a bit more luck in these next few. Again, some great races as well. Navoli, is Navoli in the chat? Where did we finish, Navoli? Was it P4, P5? P4, you must be very happy with that result. It's nice to see you at the top end of the grid. Okay, well, for the next one, the lobby opens. You find ourselves in Brazil at Interlagos.
We can drift over
there. We can drift the middle sector if you're brave enough, but I wouldn't recommend it. I think you've had enough spins for tonight, Mr. Dutchy.
I want to be like you.
Well, I know you look up to your heroes. I try my best. I'm going to leave you guys to it then. Enjoy the race, and we'll catch up with you after this one. So as we can see, we now find ourselves Interlagos, a lovely sunset night here in Rio de Janeiro. And it'll be very interesting how we take turn one. Of course, these cars have a tendency to be a little bit oversteery if you slam the throttle down. The last thing you want to see is a spin in those center S's as they try and head onto that long straight there. Make sure if you're watching as well, place your bets. Who you think is going to take the win here? Don't say Dutchy. We know it's likely to be Dutchy, but give someone else a chance. I think if Ryan Isbadgino gets it together, he stands a good chance at the win. Maybe Navoli's going to pull it out of the bag. We have no clue. But once we're all in the lobby, I think we should be able to get going. So I think they're all in now, so make sure they're all in at the track. We should be starting in just a few seconds. Who do you think will win, but you can't pick the likely winner? Oh, well, of course, come on. You know, it's not like you'd be bet on the Ligue 1, the French Football League, because that's almost a foregone conclusion before they even kick a ball. So don't pick Dutchy. Who do you think is going to win? Who's got a good chance of being on the podium at least? Make it fruity. We know Langston's got it in him, but he's not had the most consistent drives tonight. Podium, I think, well, could be Dutchy. Let's throw Darren and Ryan in there. Let's see how those three do. That's my bets. But of course, I've been wrong before. I want to see some Cantona love. I want to see Cantona in the top 6. Cantona in the top 6, I'm going to have a great weekend. Hockers thinks we're going to see Beardy up at the top 3. Well, there's only one way. Or we say with some Cantona love, he's just quit the room. Let's see if he's going to join back in a moment then, or if not, I think I have to start with that, and maybe someone will be able to message me before we get going if I know we're going to start or not. Oh, maybe I'll quickly jump in the party chat and just see what is going on. I know sometimes it does seem to leave quite spontaneously. Oh, before we get going, guys, has Khan had to go? Might have crashed. Oh, game crash. Pit glitch. Oh, okay. Oh, whoops, I've just left the party chat. Great. Okay. I'll give him 2 minutes then. I'll give him 5 minutes. Let's see if he can get back in before we get going. Of course, I mean, so we can quickly fill out some of the time maybe. Interlagos, the home of racing in Brazil, a huge variety of events there. I think we can see someone practicing the start there on the grid. Huge variety of sports events. You got your Formula Series, they got stock car, Porsche Super tournaments. I'd love to see some GT3 racing around here. In the Ferraris and Audis and Lamborghinis would be amazing. F1, of course, has a rich history here. Ayrton Senna needs an introduction himself. The sprint races of last season as well. The extraordinary performances, I must say, put on by Lewis Hamilton last year at Interlagos, I think is a highlight that I will not forget personally from my Formula 1 experience. It's the fact that, we had the whole, bendy wing gate and still managed to go from the back of the grid at the start of the weekend to winning the race at the end of it. A tremendous feat in itself. And of course, we can't forget as well, is that Glock, about a decade ago, that took a really, really unfortunate title from the hands of Felipe Massa. How does it take to tune the cars? Not as long as you think. I just put all the parts on. I take the cars to Tsukuba because there's a decent straightaway there. It's got lots of twisty corners. And if it's a bit oversteery, I turn the diff down and change the toe and the roll bars. If it's a bit understeery, I'll flip them the other way around. And generally, I try to make something that's not overtly powerful and spinny. And I think, hopefully, you can see with some of these cars today, maybe they are taking for a little spin. Apart from Dutchy, because he's just doing Dutchy things. We'll look at someone who's actually driving. And so I think Dinglehopper might be going backwards. Yep, they're all going for a slide, it seems. But yeah, I just take him to Tsukuba, give him a practice, and if he does a lap under a minute and it's controllable, we stick it on the track. Timo got breaking Brazilian hearts, yes, of course. You know, again, I do feel so sorry for Felipe Massa, having been such a fantastic teammate to drivers of the ilk of Schumacher. I believe it was with Bottas as well when they were at Williams. Well, I think they were at Williams for a short time, correct me if I'm wrong. Such a fantastic driver, really unappreciated, and Brazil really deserved to bring that title home at Interlagos. Of course, Lewis Hamilton winning it had a fantastic season himself, but it should have been Felipe's, absolutely. I think before I get too upset about Mr. Massa, we're gonna get the race going. I was going to be here all evening, so hopefully Carl might be able to join us for the final event. We've got 10 seconds till we start at the Autódromo do Interlagos. Let's go. Let's get our race info back on the screen one more time. So as the sun sets at Interlagos, a new race dawns. Engines revving, lights flashing out, and the race is underway. Good start from Langster, and another exercise from Darren, already looking around the outside of Podium Predictions, but I don't think that's where I'd want to be as they head around the outside of turn 1. Let's see how they manage it. Uncle Darren's gone very wide there. Dinglehopper's now on the outside of centre S's, a really bad place to be there. Ryan hasn't spun at the start, which is fantastic, but it seems unfortunately, a couple of people did at the back. Uncle Darren found himself on the AstroTurf, as has Urban Fire, it seems, unfortunately for him. So not the best start for those two. Ryan looks like he spun at turn 3 instead, so it didn't take him long. Like he might need a little bit more than Jesus to help him around the track then. Big Mad Daz in 8th, Cartel in 7th, and Bradley Carter with a 2-second penalty for track limits. That's really going to hurt as he heads around the circuit. Dinglehopper in P5 with another half-second, as has Beardy, so possibly going a little bit too brave with the track limits at turn 2, the right-hander, or maybe running too wide onto the Retta Aposta. As they head now through the Duck's Beak though, we're going to see how Navoli's doing again up in P3, a great start for him. It seems to be done really well with this new rating-based grid start. But how long will he keep it though? He knows he's got Langster ahead of him, I think, with a 1-second penalty. So unfortunately it seems that Dutch is going to have this race sewn up before we even get onto the second lap, unless Langster has something to say about it later, or the curb's not so kind to our resident Dutchman. So I think we're going to jump to the back of the grid and see maybe how these penalties even out. We're running more with Cartel. He's got a lot of drivers ahead of him with penalties. He's got Big Mad Daz right up his chuff too in the mirrors. But Dinglehopper and Bradley Carter have lost a huge amount of time to penalties. Will he get both of them before the break is on to turn 1? He's up into 5th gear, back in the slipstream of Brad. I think he's got his hazards on, apologising that he's going a little bit slower. Hazard on the track. Cartel is very late on the brake, so that's going to cost him all the places he's earned, I think, as he heads straight into the crash barrier and a spin for good measure down into P10. That is so unfortunate for him. What an incredible run he had around the outside of those slower drivers, and it's all been thrown away. Uncle Dan, unfortunately, with another 1-second penalty at the back of this train heading up to P5 in the Descida del Lago, but it's going to end up giving all that time away, I think. Some enormous flames at the back of that Silvia, something I'm glad to see in Gran Turismo, some real backfire there. Dinglehopper seems to be at the inside there of Big Mad Daz at the front of this gaggle of cars for P6. Mad Daz letting them go there as they head up towards Ferradura and Curva de la Regina. Ryan Spagino will keep P7 down at the inside of Dingle there in P8. Dingle now finds himself at the back of that pack, unfortunately, and it is Bradley Carter leading that train. Bid up in P4 though, catching up to Mr. Navoli, who's right on the tail of Langster. He must have overtaken him following that penalty, but he's still hot on his heels. Can he get a good run out of Junsao up the hill. He's taken a wider entry to cut back, but I don't know if it's going to work for him. Langston getting a little bit skittish on the grass there. He is still in the slipstream, and if you check the mirrors, he's just out of the way from Beardy McBeard, so he should have a good run up the hill, provided he keeps the toe. The question is, can he make a move on Langston? Langston keeps to the inside to keep that defensive line. The Voli's going to maybe have a little half of the slipstream. He's not going to move just yet. What's he going to do on the brakes? As the car fills with light from Beardy's car behind, he's going to tuck in that slipstream. Maybe not cut too much of the curve. No, traction control blinker in there as he kicks it on the road. He's losing time now to Langston, and Beardy, I think, is just about trying to reel him in. Only 4 tenths behind. Let's make it look from Beardy's view there. As the Voli's cockpit filled with light, you can't see much of what's going on there. Beardy, of course, you can see wearing that fantastic Senna replica helmet in the right place at the right time. And is this the right time to get past the Voli? He runs wide at the exit of Interlagos, and we go on the external camera. He has made it past him, and a 1 second penalty to boot. The Voli's not going to like that, but he's not going to boot it up the inside in revenge, which Beardy, I'm sure, will be very grateful for. That sees him on the podium, and the Voli into P4. Nelinsky saying there, slipstream seems to be available up to about a second. I was wondering that actually, because I've noticed that other tracks, I don't know if I had the boost on by accident, but maybe they have extended it just to make it a little bit less difficult to be in the slipstream. Brady Carter there, still with the hazards on in P5. I'm not sure if he's meant to be showing he's a hazard or just dangerous driving going on ahead. Digglehopper unfortunately has disconnected, it seems, so that's the end of his race. Mad Daz though trying to hunt down Bradley Carter, 2.5 second deficit to him, but Ryan Badgino with a good exit could find himself up in P6. Let's have a look as he hunts down Mad Daz. It's not quite worked out for him. He had a worse exit out of Junsao. It is Junsao, and he's going to try and keep that slipstream all the way along the home straight there onto lap 4, but I don't think there's going to be a move going on, not with a 6/10 deficit to Big Mad Daz. Uncle B down trying to recoup some places there in P8. He's got some work to do, but he's also got a healthy gap there down to Cartel in P9, who's made his way past Urban Fire. For some reason I'm on the grid as well in P11, not too sure why that is. Dutchy though, 1.7 second gap to Langston, so this is his race to lose, and I'm sure some will be hoping he does. But looks like my prediction there from Hockers with Beardy on the podium could well come true if he holds it together for another 4 minutes. Here's Langston in P2, Beardy in P3, and now the cars start to bunch up a little more. Bradley Carter in P4, Navoli chasing him down in 5th place. There goes Ryan's Badgino with Darren in tow in P6 and 7 respectively. Mad Daz in the shot there, just exiting there in P8. So you can't see any major battles going on for the time being, but I think it's going to happen any time soon as Darren really draws up on the back of Ryan's Badgino there. Let's see how he follows him through the beak of the plateau, the Dutch Beak corner, into the final sector of Interlagos, taking a wide line there through Magura so we can cut towards the apex and let the car wash naturally out to the right, holding for 4th gear, make sure he doesn't run off the circuit. Good to see as well, 3.5 tenths up on his personal best. A nice tight line there, early on the power. Traction control kicking in just a touch. Is that going to hinder him out of the exit? I don't think so, and in fact, he's gaining still as they move towards the home straight. Only 3.5 tenths down now on Ryan Badgino as he ducks to the inside there. Could be a little far back for a lunge into turn 1. I'm not sure I'd advise it here. Maybe as a head down towards the Descida de Lago, but it's not happening at turn 1. We can see there, safe move there from Uncle Darren. Takes a conservative line there through the Senna S's. I think it has cost him a little bit of time there to Ryan Badgino. Maybe that is doing some dirty airs. He was very so close. We can see there, as Nelinsky actually comments there, the flip side, the wash from the air of the car is also a thing, so following closely can cause understeer. Maybe that's why he's given another 2 tenths away there to Ryan's Badgino. He's gained them back though as they head out of turn 5. Is there a move coming up for the middle sector? Oh, not too sure. No, he's just not close enough. What about here though? Ryan gets a little bit slidey, cuts very closely towards the inside of the track, but no move there. Covering the inside line very tightly, but a ½ second penalty is not going to do him any favours. And Darren knows he's just got to sit tight and wait for that penalty zone. Doesn't have to force the issue at all. It's only going to be a matter of time before he gets that place as a matter of course. We've only got 2 minutes though, so is there a better reason to make it early? You can see Nivoli around the outside. He's not going to go around the outside of Maguire, is he? No way. That's a very brave move. It's around the outside of Junsao. Oh, it's a good idea, but not happening. But he's dropped to second gear for that acceleration out the corner. Now he's at the inside of Ryan's Badger, who's about to have that penalty anyway. But has that fighting cost him, as he has to hunt down Nivoli in P5. He's 2.5 seconds down. He's only got 1.5 minutes to do it, which really is probably about maybe 1 lap, maybe 2 if he's very lucky. Right on the cusp of another 7th lap, I think. We'll get our grid run through one more time. We've got Dutchy 5.3 seconds now in the lead, so he's really having a good time at this, with the fastest lap to boot. Lancaster in P2, 3.5 seconds up on his next closest rival, Beardy McBeard. Enjoying himself there in P3 as Silvia shoots some huge flames heading into turn 4 and 5. There's Bradley Castro just behind him there in P4. And maybe those flashing hands just reminding Beardy that there could be some danger to the end of this race yet. Nivoli still in P5, 3.8 seconds away from Uncle Darren and Cuzzy, who I think are still fighting behind him. Maybe there's been some comings together there. So this is the fight we're going to stick with, I think, then, as we ride on board with Ryan is bad. He's got a healthy 10-second gap there to Big Mad Dan, so maybe he's made a mistake hitting out of turn 5. So we're going to see if these two have got any moves to make. Darren running a little bit deeper there, but keeping more speed, putting away from Cuzzy there, out of the Duck Speed, out of Pinheirino, and now into the Duck Speed, turn 10. Again, maybe Ryan can afford to be just a little bit earlier on the throttle. We know he's got a tendency to slide on the power, but if he can control that, a little bit of slip angle might go a long way. This is going to be the last lap, so this is where the move has to be made. I don't think even Dutchy's going to have a final lap, so he's going to cross the line to P1. Lancaster will take P2. Beardy, as Hocker's predicted, in P3, but by the skin of his teeth there, Bradley Carter taking home a well-fought P4. Where is Mr. Nivoli? He's going to have P5. Great drive from Nivoli, and Darren will hold off Ryan for P6 and 7. Big Mad Daz, unfortunately, just one too many errors has kept him out of that fight for P7, but he'll get P8. Urban Fire has gotten back past Cartel for P9, meaning Cartel will come back home in P10 if he keeps it on the road, of course. Like he's had a slight accident there heading out of the second to last corner, so he'll join the track and he'll be finishing up in 10th place. Linsky there saying, good job everyone, good racing yet, and Lancaster on the podium. He definitely called it. Well, of course, Lancaster is one of our drivers to be wary of. He's always got his eyes out and his ears alert for a podium. Oh, I can't seem to move my cursor. There we go. So once they finish fizzing around the track, we'll get on to our final race for the evening, and of course, the obligatory post-race interviews. You know the drill, Amigos YouTube, keep it clean, child friendly, you know. Play Dutchy, easy win?
Nothing is easy.
I mean, you make it look here easy, it must be said.
Nah, I almost had my fatal mistake.
Well, it seemed that Lancaster was putting the pressure on you, and all of a sudden I saw him fighting for P3 and 4. Is Lancaster there? Also, see who's making the echo? I think it might be Beardy. I'm going to mute him just for a second. There we go. Sorry, Beardy. Lancaster, what happened, buddy? You were right on Dutchy's tail and then it all fell apart. What washed out wide on the green stuff? Oh, I see. Was there a point where you thought Nivoli might be the moving roadblock in your race? Because he did seem to put up quite a fight. Nivoli, anything to say about that one? I suppose that might well put pay to your race then. It's very unfortunate there, but it was a good shot at it. And Urban, you there as well? Finish off our interviews. You there, Urban?
Yes, but yeah.
What happened to you? You seem to have a good race at the start of that, and then just what you were at the back of the pack. What's happened to me?
Yeah, just silly penalties, mate. Just silly mistakes. Standard urban fire racing.
Standard urban fire racing. Well, make sure you get it together for the last one. You're going to find yourselves at Sardinia C, the oval-y kind of layout one. So, not too many barriers here. Just be careful as you head out of turn 3, of course. I'll see you guys in a few moments. Good luck. The lobby is opening. Right, so now we're out of Beardy's Echo Cave and onto the final race of the evening, Sardinia Road Track C. Of course, affectionately known as Squidenia, if you were here for the previous Roulette series. I'm more a fan of Track A. Provides some really good racing no matter what cars you're in, and it must be said, even the LMP ones, the Group 1 cars, are a real pleasure to drive around this track. So make sure you have a go at some of those if you've not done it already. However, Sardinia C lends itself much more to road cars, Group 4 racing. Unfortunately, that's what the randomizer has thrown up for us today. So hopefully once everyone joins the lobby, should only be a few more seconds, we'll get underway with our last race. Now, I don't think a lap here should take any more than about 40 seconds, so we should see plenty of close racing. Short track racing, as they might like to say in America. But of course, don't be confused, we're going to turn left and maybe right. So we've got Nelinsky in the comments, Sardinia C is the dangerous one. It seems simple, but easy to clip a curb here or there and build some sandcastles. I've definitely been there. I think the one to watch is going to be, that's what it looks like, 1, 2, 3. So after those little left-right kinks, it'll be turn 4, where they would deviate from the standard A route and head back up the hill. That's always one that catches us out because you never know where to brake. You end up sat in the sand pit, and then your whole run up that hill is completely compromised. So hopefully, once they're on the track, we'll see if they can keep it in one piece, at least round lap 1. So we're going to start our race. Again, in the comments, podium predictions. Let's try and think if it's going to be Dutchy and Langsters, we assume it might well be. Who is that third spot going to? I don't think this is going to be Beardy's race. I think this could be Darren. I think it could be Ryan, or throwing a spanner in the works, maybe Brad is going to pull something out the bag for the last one of the evening. Zelinsky saying Ryan is due a good one. He's going to be his podium pick. Well, Ryan, don't let us down. Lights are out. Away we go. Langster and Dutchy pulling off to the left. Looks like maybe they're up for their own challenge at the end. Hockers wants Dingle on the podium. Let's see how they do. So as it looks like Dutchy and Langster are going to have their own race. We'll see them make some overtakes. Maybe they're up for a last to first challenge. Khan is in the chat. Thank you, Khan. Sorry you couldn't carry on. But maybe we're going to see Navoli up in the places. Let's run a ball with Urban Fires. He tries to pick his way through the chaos. Brady Carter's still got his hazards on, so we all know he's a danger, but he doesn't make it that literal. Mad Daz weaving aggressive to the inside, but he's going to keep the space as soon as they hit the brakes. Overfire very brave off the inside of Ryan's bad. A little bit of door banging as he bumps off the rumble strip, but it looks like he's just about going to keep it clean. They're too wide. There's some door banging up ahead with Mad Daz and Beardy, but they are all keeping it in one place for the time being. This is going to be great. Let's get it on the outside for a 3 wide in the last corner. Is that a spin? Mad Daz, he's trying to hold it. Urban Fire with a huge drift, but he's clipped the barrier. That's very unfortunate. That could have been a huge highlight for tonight's race. And he spun Dutchy round instead, doing God's work. Dutchy finds himself at the back of the grid once again, but he loves it there, really. It's just a challenge for him. He's going to shut his visor down, put his gloves on, and get racing. Let's jump back up the field. I've been a big sight there with the back of the pack. How things are unfolding at the front. Bradley Cut getting all kinds of unstable there. Is that going to leave the door open for Beardy McBeard as they head round through that first left-right kink? So again, onto the rumble strip, they're braking at the 50 board. Down the third gear, it's like Navoli's run a little bit wide there. Bradley Cutter throwing that Silvia into the air off the rumble strip. And now it's about balancing the throttle, getting that nice line to thread the needle through these downhill corners, which Beardy has done perfectly. Bradley Carter right up the behind there of Navoli, braking uphill there, Beardy, to make sure he can keep a tight right-hand line, and then onto the inside for the final corner, running nice and wide, using some of the pit exit. Of course, if no hassle were here, he'd probably be face first into that blue barrier, but everyone has learnt that lesson from last season. If you've not seen last season's race, make sure you go and check out the Amigos YouTube channel. There's a playlist there with all the highlights from last season. It's not to be missed. Zielinski saying, what were you saying about that danger up the hill? Well, I've been there myself, so I've learnt from experience, and hopefully these guys will do too. But of course, no practice just makes it a little bit more exciting. So Uncle B Darren leading lap 3, maybe not for long though. He finds himself in the gravel, back on track quickly though. Maybe there's a bit of neck throw there, we'll have to see. Bradley Carter and Navoli going side by side. Oh, Bradley Carter cuts the nose right off of Navoli there. A really bold move from him to keep P2, but Navoli might then just bide his time and wait until the home straight as they really bunch up now. The lead made Darren's gone off again. Navoli trying to keep around the outside, a tiny bumper contact there. And that's going to put Beardy now into range of P2. So these front four only separated by 1.5 seconds, and Langster, having fought from the back of the pack at lap 1, may well be causing a 5-way scrap for the lead. I think we'll jump on board with Langster as he has the front seat, the best seat in the house for that front four battle. As Dutchy, only 11 seconds behind, leading the other train of cars. We've got two kind of small pelotons here. Dutchy leading the rear one, and Langster on the back of the front. Let's see how these battles unfold. Looks like Navoli's run a little bit wide there, hit the grass, or half spin, but very good save though. Beardy will take that around the outside to keep P3. Now Navoli's got to hold off Langster. Langster's lift off across, he's going to bump Navoli into the grass. He's going to try and look around the outside. Is there room? There's just about room for Langster there. Navoli early on the brakes. Langster has to take avoiding action and a lunge up the inside. He looks at the rear roll cage, and Navoli has to concede that place. A very last minute move, probably not what he was hoping for, but opportunistic nonetheless. Sees Langster up into P4. All that excitement though has given Navoli about a second handicap there to Dutchy, and now we see him leading the other pack there by 3 seconds down the home stretch onto lap 5. How long will it be before he meets the rear of Navoli 10 seconds up the road? I don't think it's going to be that long. Meanwhile, we're going to jump back to Bradley Carter there. He's just about caught Uncle Darren. We'll run aboard with him for a little bit as he tries to pursue our race leader. Only 7/8 behind. You know, that slipstream is now about a second thanks to Zielinski. That's not where you want to be if there's that turbulent air through this really twisty section of the track that needs the downforce. Bradley there, hitting that apex. Uncle Darren's broken just too late. Finds himself in the gravel at the back there. And in a spin, and has now lost 4 places in one corner. Fortunately, Mad Daz is quite a way down the road. It seems that Dutchy is giving away some more time. Dutchy at the back of the grid, so maybe another spin from him. Most unfortunate. So it looks like though Bradley Carter has this race to run away with, but not for long. Langster is up into P2. He's just gotten past Beardy. And a bit of a drift there, maybe some contact here. Beardy gets right up onto him there. We know there's a Silvia touring car, but these are not those. Beardy another bump for good measure, but he has just put it side by side, and now he's got Navoli straight past him into P3. Great move from Navoli. As Zeno saying there, hey Squid, good evening from the pub, hope you're having a nice evening. Langster's getting all kinds of sideways, and a spin from Langster, conceding P2 and 3 to Beardy and Navoli, now down in P4. Has Uncle Darren, in a word of his own, got a chance to reclaim what was once his and get back into that top 4 spots? Goodness me, we've still got half a race to go there as we hit the 6-minute mark, so another 4 minutes to go there. There's Mad Daz at the bottom of the hill, and Darren again running a little bit wide. He's really got sort of that braking zone out, but going for that slingshot exit it seems. Mad Daz there in P6. Zielinski says 9 out of 10 to Langster for the pirouette. Of course, maybe less barrier with a full 10 out of 10. Urban Fire there in P8, and he's got the Flying Dutchman behind him in P9. Cartel in P10. Just about in that slipstream. I think he's going to try and use that to catch back up to Urban Fire. I'm not sure he's going to get Dutchy unless there's a mistake. But of course we know that no one is susceptible to mistakes in the Roulette series. This car seems to have brought it out of many of the drivers who, for them, spinning would be most unnatural. We can see Bradley Carter again in a world of his own, about to start lap 7, as Star drivers are only just about completing it there. So a 5.8 second gap there over Navoli in P2. Lankster's got his work cut out for him. He's again past Beardy McBeard. Maybe had an incident of his own. But Lankster with a 9.5 second gap to Bradley. Can he make up 9.5 seconds in 3 minutes? I'm really not sure. He's probably got about 4 laps to do it. So let's see how he gets on. We hustle our way down the pack there. Beardy McBeard in 4th place. Darren on his own in 5th. Here goes Mad Daz and Ryan's badge. You know, a drag race down the home straight. Looks like Ryan might have had the slipstream. He's just about nudging ahead. Who's going to have the apex? It's going to be Ryan. Is he too late on the brakes? Oh, he's rushed a little bit wide. Mad Daz cuts back. Ryan's badge, no, too early on the throttle, and another spin. And into the gravel. Here comes Urban Fire. Half-second penalty. Oh, straight through Ryan. That's very lucky. And Play Dutchy will follow suit as well. This is not what he wants to see. Penalty on the front of his screen and a Dutchy in the back. That's the last thing he wants as he heads through. He's just about wide. Oh, very close there, but he's kept it clean. Dutchy sweeps up the inside there into P7. Urban Fire with a penalty at the top of the straight might well cause more trouble for Ryan is bad. Niski says, I stand corrected, Ryan. He was due a good race, but he's not got one, unfortunately. As we see there, Dutchy, Urban Fire maybe having a little bit of fun there. A little bit of door banging, hopefully. Dutchy's going to bump and run, I think. Not the tactic we like to see at Amigos, but of course, it's just for fun this evening. Ryan's badge, you know, will make use of that overspeed, I think, and sweep around the outside of Urban Fire down into T1. Cartel, someone picked up a 1 second penalty, presumably track limits, so he'll make sure he keeps his nose clean. Someone who's not kept the nose clean seems to be Bradley Carter, who was running away, but is now only 8 tenths on Navolius. He's very late on the brakes there, but closes up by another half a second. You see again the traction control just blipping as he exits there. It's cost him a little bit of time on the exit of the final corner, but again, still in the slipstream. It could be Navoli's race win here in the Roulette. I've not yet seen Navoli take home a gold medal in Amigos, but it would be lovely to see him snag a win at the last race of the evening. He's got to make sure he gets it done quick though. This might well be the last lap as we head on to the final minute of Sardinia Road Track C. I don't think Lankster's going to catch them unless he puts in a phenomenal lap, maybe with some illegally fitted nitrous. I don't see it happening here. We'll jump back very quickly, see if Uncle Darren's going to get past Beardy McBeard. I don't think it's going to happen just yet unless there's a late lunge or a mistake. Beardy's just missed the apex. Darren's clipped it perfectly. Beardy using the grass instead, but keeps it stable, fortunately for him. But Navoli and Lankster are now fighting up at the front then, maybe. Oh, no, they're not. So that would have been Bradley and Navoli. Looks like Bradley is going to cross the line. Maybe he's going to get one more lap in, as is Navoli. What about Lankster? He's got one more lap, so it's going to be Beardy. Darren has spun, unfortunately for him. Where is Play Dutchy? He's coming around the outside of Darren. And what about Big Mad Daz? It's going to be a Big Mad drag to the line. There is going to be indeed, and he's passed him to take P6 on the line. Great move now. Unfortunate for Uncle Darren. Ryan will take P8. Urban Fire will take 9th. Cartel will definitely take 10th. So it's all down to Bradley, Navoli, and Lankster. I don't think Lankster's going to get it. He's taken 2 seconds out of Navoli on that last lap. And Navoli has lost time to Bradley Carter, but I think these positions are likely to stay where they are. Come on, Navoli, bring it home. P2. P2, he's so close. Don't overwork the car. Oh, he's gone in deep. Lankster's going to see that. He's going to smell blood in the water. Bradley Carter's going to take the win. We can definitely see that for sure, but Navoli, he's just going to hang on by the skin of his teeth for P2. What a fantastic drive for him. Lankster from the back of the pack to P3, and of course Dutchy to P5. Their own little race seemed to go well, but it's gone the way of the Brit for that head-to-head duel. Goodness me, what a fantastic final race to end the show tonight. We'll get our final race interviews out of the way. I'll try and keep my microphone in my ear, of course, or my headset in my ear, and that will be wrapping up in just a few moments. Good evening, everyone. Amigos TV, blah, blah, blah. Keep it clean, you know the drill. Dutchy Lankster, you having your own little kind of private game there at the start of the race?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it seems like you
I
definitely
had
had some
my
fun
fun.
there. You definitely had your fun, Dutchy. I saw that. Some fun in the sand, going to the beach.
Yes.
Well, Nelinsky predicted some sandcastles in the chat, but I didn't think it would be you. But again, thanks for dropping by. As to you, Lancaster, as well. Are you happy with P3 from the back? Excellent stuff. And I must say as well, Cantona, who didn't race but joined the chat, he predicted podium for Navoli. How do you feel for P2 Navoli? Well, he did seem to escape, but he did manage to hold off, the Amigos racing team freight train for quite a long period of time there, so you must be extremely proud. Good job to you. And lastly, to our newcomers there, we've got Mad Daz. Are you in the chat, Mad Daz?
He's laughing.
No, he's just gone. Thanks, Mad Daz. Have a nice weekend. That's a bit awkward. We still got in the party. It's left to talk to. Have we got? We've got Cartel. Are you still there, Cartel?
Yeah, I haven't done that track. And how many different variations of that track is there?
You've got A, B, and C, and you've got them all backwards. You've got 6 different options to choose from.
Yeah, 6. I haven't done that. I just every single time I didn't expect that corner. I think I didn't hit it once.
It's okay. It is a learning curve, quite literally. But if you enjoyed your first race with Amigos, you coming back for more? Hopefully in the next few weeks.
It's been good fun. And I think in the league races they'll be announced with the tracks. I'm guessing.
They usually are, yes. So you'll see those in the Discord.
Yeah, so I will definitely be a little bit more prepared for the future races.
Excellent. Well, if that's not an advertisement for joining the Discord, I don't know what is. And again, the link is in the description. On that note, we're going to call it a night. So if you want to say your goodbyes, lads.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Good night.
Cheers, lads. Thanks, Squid.
No worries, Urban. No worries. Good job, Navoli. Before it gets too PG-13, I was your host for this evening, SuperSquid. Have a lovely evening and a fantastic weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.